suggest that maybe you think Berkshire is overpriced at these prices.
Well, we've never bought back shares. We actually bought a few back in the 60s, but we basically have never bought back shares, although there were plenty of times when we thought it would be quite attractive to do it. But we've also felt that if we could create more than $1 of market value by and maybe well over $1 market value by retaining $1, that on balance that would work out better over time. As long as we can find ways to use the cash, which overall we feel will turn dollar bills into something larger than dollar bills, we'll keep retaining the money, and we won't measure that on whether we can find anything this week or this month, but we'll certainly measure it based on whether we can find anything in a couple of years. Always, we've had dry spells. Actually, right now there's a little more going on than usual, but we've had dry spells a lot of times over a 20-odd year period, and as I said, I wound up the partnership during one dry spell. So that it will be it's measured partly on what's going on now, and it's measured partly on the expectancy. And I don't think whether our stock was selling at X or 3/4 of X right now would make a lot of difference, but it would make a difference if we thought we couldn't find things to do with the money externally. The question about non-domestic operations, and as you mentioned, we've got almost $8 billion in Coca-Cola and Gillette combined, and Coke has 80% plus of their earnings from non-U.S. sources, and Gillette has maybe 2/3 or thereabouts. So you can argue that almost 40% of the net worth of Berkshire, 35 to 40% is operating outside the United States, right, just in those two investments alone. In terms of buying a business outright, we don't preclude buying a non-U.S. domiciled business, but it's not too likely that it'll happen. We'd like to do it, particularly if it were large and if we understood it. But are we as likely to get a fix on a Helzberg's of Europe as we would a Helzberg's of the United States? I doubt it. I just don't know whether we would develop as much confidence in understanding the scene in which they operated and understanding the management and all that. But we might. It would have to be a pretty simple business, and it would have to be a business where we thought we really understood the moat for a long time, and it would have to be a business where we could establish a rapport with the management despite coming from somewhat different backgrounds. It's not impossible, but I would say it's less than likely. Charlie?
I've got nothing to add.